My father was getting weaker at the table. She said it was the meds. I checked the bottles. What I found ruined everything. I never thought I'd suspect my own sister of trying to kill our dad. But when you've got a sharp mind and a suspicious heart, some things just don't add up. My name's Marcus Lane. I'm 38, a software developer from Seattle. I analyze data for a living. Patterns, errors, small inconsistencies that others miss. So when I noticed my dad's prescriptions kept accidentally changing every few weeks, I didn't see coincidence. I saw a pattern. Dad's a retired mechanic, 70, stubborn, old school, the kind of man who believes family never lies. So he trusted Claire, my sister, with everything. His meds, his finances, even his passwords. He said she was just helping. But I knew my sister better. She doesn't help unless there's something in it for her. Last summer, when I came home to visit, she greeted me at the door like I was interrupting something. The air smelled off, like stale pills and cheap perfume. Dad was half asleep in his chair, TV blasting an old western, his speech slurred just enough to worry me. "Hey, Dad," I said, trying to sound normal. He smiled, but his eyes were glassy. That wasn't the man who used to rebuild engines in the driveway. I turned to Claire. "What's he taking now?" She shrugged. "Doctor switched the meds again. Blood pressure, memory stuff, I don't know." She said it too fast. That's when I noticed. The pill organizer on the table had 2 empty rows, but the label on the bottle said, "Take 1 a day." 7 missing in 3 days. If you've ever had that instant gut feeling that something's very wrong, comment "chills" below, because that was me, right there in that kitchen. I didn't confront her. Not yet. I just said, "Cool. I'll stay for a few days," and in that moment, I decided, if she's hiding something, I'll find it. So that night, after everyone went to bed, I opened my laptop. Not for work, for evidence. And that's when I started my own little investigation. But what I found next made my blood run cold. The next morning, Claire was all sunshine and fake smiles, making pancakes, acting like everything was fine. But I've written enough code to know when something doesn't compile. She was too calm. Dad sat at the table, eyes droopy, barely finishing breakfast. When I asked how he felt, he said, "Just tired lately, son." His voice cracked on the word tired. I decided to test something. "Hey, Claire," I said casually, "mind if I take Dad to the pharmacy later? I'll grab his meds for the week." She froze for half a second, just enough, then forced a smile. "Oh, already done. I keep everything handled." That was confirmation. If you've ever caught someone lying, that tiny delay before they fake a smile, comment, "I saw it too." So I waited until she went out shopping. Then I checked the cabinet where she kept Dad's meds. There were 2 bottles for every prescription. 1 half empty, 1 still sealed. Different pharmacy names, different refill dates. And when I Googled the second pharmacy, it didn't exist. I felt my chest tighten. I opened my phone camera, hit record, and documented everything. Every label, every date, every pill count. It wasn't just a mistake. It was a setup, and I didn't even know for what yet. That night, I didn't sleep. I just sat on the couch, scrolling through my photos, zooming in on each label. Half the pills were from a local hospital. The others? From an online supplier registered under her name. I knew I couldn't go straight to the cops, not without proof. So I reached out to someone who'd know how to trace the money. My coworker, Alex, cybersecurity expert, paranoid genius, and loyal to the core. "Marcus," he said after I explained everything, "you're not dealing with meds. You're dealing with motive. She's getting paid for something." He ran a check that night on the pharmacy ID, and within an hour, he texted back just one line. "Greater than the account receiving payments is linked to your father's insurance." That's when it hit me. She wasn't poisoning him to kill him. She was drugging him to keep him sick, just enough to keep the insurance money flowing. If that realization made your jaw drop, you're not alone. Comment, "Unbelievable," if you'd never forgive a sibling for something like this. Because from that moment, I knew one thing. My sister wasn't just greedy, she was dangerous. And before she hurt Dad again, I had to stop her. I didn't confront Claire right away. That's what amateurs do. They explode too early. I'm a developer. I debug before I deploy. So I started logging everything. Dates, calls, texts, payments. If she wanted to play nurse, I'd make sure she got a patient chart she couldn't rewrite. I installed a small voice recorder under the dining table, disguised as a phone charger. If you've ever wanted to catch someone lying but didn't know how, comment, "Teach me that trick." The next morning, I listened. Claire was on the phone. Her voice, smooth, controlled. "Yeah, the old man's meds are running low. Keep the dosage mild. He can't die yet." He can't die yet. I froze. Hearing her say it out loud was worse than I'd imagined. I sent the audio to Alex, who cleaned it up and attached the metadata. He grinned when he called back. "Dude, this is airtight. GPS tags match your kitchen. But I needed one more thing. The money trail." So I baited her. Told Claire I was upgrading Dad's insurance plan and needed her help to check the beneficiary details. Her reaction? Pure panic. She tried to play it cool, but her hand shook while holding the tablet. The form clearly showed her name as secondary beneficiary. Not Mom, not me. Her. That's when the final plan clicked. I wasn't just going to expose her. I was going to make her expose herself. I created a fake email. Looked like it came from the insurance company. It said they'd detected unusual prescription patterns and needed a statement from the caregiver. I left the laptop open on the counter. Accidentally. Later that night, she took the bait. Opened the laptop. Started typing her explanation. Basically confessing in her own words how she managed Dad's medication and handled reimbursements. Every keystroke, recorded. Every word, screen captured. When I walked in, she slammed the lid shut, eyes wide. "What are you doing?" I asked. "Just checking something for Dad," she muttered. "Sure, sis." That was the moment I knew the game was over. If you've ever caught someone red-handed but pretended you didn't, drop a fire emoji in the comments. Because sometimes, silence hurts louder than shouting. Next morning, I emailed everything. The recordings, screenshots, timestamps, to the State Insurance Fraud Division. Anonymous. No emotion. Just evidence. 3 days later, they showed up. Not at Dad's house. At her workplace. And from what I heard later, she didn't just lose her job. She lost everything that wasn't nailed down. The day it all ended didn't start with drama. It started with peace. The kind of calm that shows up when the storm finally burns itself out. It had been 2 weeks since the fraud team took Claire in for questioning. She tried to call me 12 times. I never picked up. But that morning, I got a call from the hospital. Dad was asking for me. When I walked into his room, the sunlight hit his face just right. Soft, quiet, tired, but alive. He smiled weakly. "You look better," he said. And for the first time in years, I actually felt better. He didn't know everything. Not the audio, not the fake email, not the part where his angel caregiver had been stealing from him. All he knew was that she was gone. Transferred. Fired. Out of his life. He looked at me and said, "Son, you did something, didn't you?" I smiled. "I just fixed a system error, Dad." He laughed. "You always were good with computers." If you've ever taken revenge by simply doing what's right, comment, "Justice served." A week later, I got the official notice. Claire had been charged with elder abuse and financial fraud. She lost her license, her job, her reputation, the holy trinity of professional ruin. No shouting, no threats, no public drama. Just clean, silent justice. And me? I moved Dad into a better facility, one where they actually care. I finally slept without checking cameras or reading fake texts. People say revenge makes you bitter. But that's not true. When it's done right, methodical, fair, honest, it's not revenge. It's correction. And if you've ever fixed your life by deleting toxic people, hit that subscribe button right now. Because this channel, it's about real stories where truth bites harder than lies. So tell me in the comments, would you have exposed her like I did, or walked away? Because for me, walking away wasn't peace, it was permission. And I stopped giving that a long time ago.